Hello, unique awesome people. Today I want to help you with some more strategies. And I feel like if you're somebody who's not on Facebook and you don't like Facebook, maybe you should jump on a friend's account so that you can explore this method before totally writing Facebook off. Because I've found that a lot of people who are on Facebook a lot don't even realize that there are some private communities out there to you that could actually help you find a partner. Now, for example, my roommate absolutely loves fire. He loves wood stoves, so much so that he compares to a connoisseur who collects them the same way I do about high heels. So that being said, I was watching him enjoy his fire and I was thinking to myself, this man would not be happy if he connected with a woman who didn't adore fires and wood stoves. Imagine if she pretended to. That would probably lead to a very disappointing relationship, even if a fun initial hookup started, let's just say, right? So I took the liberty of searching wood stove groups on Facebook. So if you want to search a private community on Facebook and you don't know how to do that, you go up to the magnifying glass and you type in the word. Now, initially I wrote fire connoisseur, and that didn't bring up anything. I didn't want to write pyro because he doesn't actually like lighting fires everywhere. He just adores the science of how fires function. So then I thought, oh, wood stove. So I wrote wood stove, and then wood stove lovers came up. So it might take a couple attempts, but anything that you love, anything. If you love pears, if you love going to Rome, if you love horror movies, no matter what it is that you love, like whatever your awesome thing is, there is definitely a Facebook community group for it. So you just have to be creative in trying different terminologies, go onto the search bar, and then click search. And then underneath search, you'll see the words people, places, groups. You type on groups, and then all these private communities will come up. Now, depending on what your personal interest is, you may have thousands of people in these groups. Of course, it's nice to join polyamorous or polygamous groups and stuff, but what I find in those groups is it's a great place to share frustrations and gain insights for relationship trials and tribulations. But to actually meet people and connect in them, it's not that easy because people aren't really willing to put themselves out there about the specific personal things about them that would help attract ideal partners. I've done it a few times and people just think I'm crazy. Now, for example, if you go into a wood stove lover group and you love wood stoves, how do you find somebody who's polyamorous? Well, you don't necessarily need to. And it really depends on where you're at in your journey with polyamory. And I thought that that's why this would be a great talk to have here. Because for me personally, I don't really feel comfortable finding partners who are newcomers to polyamory. That's because I have a lot of experience with it. And I've been through that struggle of helping people try to transition, and it's been very, very draining and taxing on me emotionally. And where I'm at in my life right now, with regards to my ambitions and my plans for the future, I just don't really want to be dragged down by someone or people who don't really connect with what's the word I'm looking for, compersion, for example. I want to be around people who are feeling these things naturally and probably have some more experience based on that, to enable them to do so that I can start enjoying some more joy early on in relationships that I wasn't privy to years ago because I was the one trying to help people understand how to feel like that. Now, for you, you might be a newcomer to polyamory. Maybe you're just testing the water. So when you think about it, it makes a lot of sense to find potential partners who have the same level of experience as you. Young people always love to throw out the age ain't nothing but a number um, defense, but when you think about it, there is some truth to that and there isn't. Like, no, age doesn't always matter, but the level of experience that each partner has in general in life does impact the relationship dramatically, and that's something to think about. So if you're coming into polyamory, you're new to it, or you've had a couple of relationships, or you've spent your whole lifetime, you're probably going to want to find partners who have that same amount of experience because it's just going to put you in the same mental space much easier, right? So that being said, now it's time to think about like how comfortable you are being public about being polyamorous, because for me personally, like, I don't mind being public about it. I have that, readily available on my Facebook profile. So when I go into, a group about heels and I want to, you know, engage and comment actively in conversations all about heels, then the people who see me commenting and like what I have to say and click on my profile out of curiosity and then see that I'm polyamorous, have that opportunity to source me out and find me, to connect with me. And these are the things that make life easier right now. Even before COVID and all the isolation that we had, online became very important. I got a lot of friends in my life who are doing the whole, like, I just don't like social media. And they can't figure out why they're having a hard time in the dating department. It's like, well, you can stand there with your arms crossed and get left behind. Or you can roll with the times and fine tune the way you present yourself online to make your life a little easier. Because, in fact, that's what's going to happen if you do. I've got a couple other videos on here about, like, how to take good profile pictures and online dating apps and things like that. But I didn't really touch on the potential of using private Facebook groups or even public Facebook groups. Just Facebook groups of any kind will get you around like-minded people. One of the other videos I did was about core values. You don't want to plan a meaningful relationship with somebody whose core values don't match yours. But once you get your core values dealt with, which is, the foundation for a, powerful, beautiful relationship, you also want to get into your cute little quirks and your personal interests, because your core values have to match. Like, I do not believe that you can have a long-term successful relationship with somebody if your core values don't match. If you have achieved this, please write about it in the comments below and tell me that I'm wrong, because I have yet to encounter that in life, and I would love to hear stories that contradict my opinion on the subject. Please do share. But yeah, if you've met somebody, you're excited about them, your core values match, but your loves and your interests, don't connect, you're not going to have as easy of a time. I'm sure you could have a beautiful romantic experience and build a meaningful relationship from it. But imagine if you found somebody whose core values match yours and their personal interests and hobbies were something you connected with. That's when we start feeling that, like, overwhelming sense of soulmate, I'm so in love with this person. That's when that starts happening in a real organic way, not just from the initial new energy emotions of, seduction, right? And a lot of us base relationships on seduction. And that is not a very good idea, because eventually, the honeymoon phase is going to wear off. And you're going to be left staring at each other, trying to figure out, where you're going with your relationship. And if you're building or creating together, you're going to have much better odds long term, right? And that goes to say for triples and quad relationships as well. Like, the more synergy you guys have beyond your physical attraction, the stronger those dynamics are going to be. So I can't wait for my roommate to go and swim around in the wood stove community and hopefully find his monogamous partner. I think he's going to have a great time. I can't wait to hear about it. So for those of you who are thinking about getting into, Facebook groups, now that I've shone a light on that, and you're saying to yourself, well, how am I going to find, people who are polyamorous, based on where you're at in your journey? And this is the advice I can give you. Think about being public if you're a long-term polyamorous lifestyle person. Like, if this has been something that's been in your life for many, many, many years, and you've been hiding it because you feel you have to because of scrutiny and judgment, reflect on 2021 and where we're at in the world, and how important it is to display who you are in the most organic, authentic way online, because it really could bring you so much happiness. And if you're somebody who's new to it, you don't necessarily want to put it on your profile, you're, uncertain or what have you, you could go into these groups and just form friendships. And then early on in the friendships, if you guys decide to connect privately, because that is where conversations lead. I don't know if you have experience personally with the fact that when you're having open conversations and continuous dialogue with somebody on posts of any kind, let alone in a community group of personal interest, eventually that's going to lead to, like, hey, can I private message you about this, or is it cool if I message you, or it can lead to prioritizing meeting in person. It absolutely can. So don't tell yourself that it's not real and that it can't, because you're manifesting that in your mind and you're eliminating the opportunity to grow something beautiful. During that time, make sure you're upfront, make sure you're telling potential monogamous people who you're potentially interested in but you know, you feel as if you're not open to monogamy anymore, make sure you're being open about that up front. You know, you can say, hey, new friend, I'm entering this new journey. Do you want to hear about it? You know, I found some advice on a YouTube video to come and find these groups like this, to find like-minded people, because I'm trying to create the most authentic, organic future for myself that I possibly can. People will admire your transparency and your sincerity. So don't wait for the best time. Don't try to hide it. Don't be uncertain. Put things out there and be proud and be confident, because people are drawn to that. It's magnetic energy. And so yeah, if you have any other questions about community groups, hit me up and let me know. It's very straightforward. And again, if you don't have Facebook, maybe consider it, because you know, Facebook is a little bit more popular with older people, and the older people are, the more experience they have, and the more experience they have, the more likely you are to maybe encounter the type of non-monogamous relationship that you're yearning for. So yeah, share your thoughts on this in the comments, please, and let me know if you have any other questions. If I missed anything that I could have included in this video, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Have a great day. Thanks for popping in.